The ancients, before the Great Journey, before they ascended, left behind a great legacy of knowledge that was lost through time, taken by other species, or eliminated. Their technology was also lost or appropriated, but their unresolved issues, or rather, their problems, remained intact. Among them are the Ori, the replicators, and yes, I mean both types of replicators, but the most important one that we will talk about in this video will be the Wraith. The Wraith are a kind of space vampires that feed on the life force of humans and were primarily responsible for the expulsion of the ancients from the Pegasus galaxy. In this video we will see their history, biology, hierarchy, etc. So let's get started. The origins of the Wraith are a total mystery. There are only theories about them, but it is known that they come from an insect called Iritas, capable of absorbing the life force of any living being, including humans. When the ancients arrived in the Pegasus galaxy and began to colonize it, one of those colonies may have reached a planet where the Iritas fed on them. Over the generations and by absorbing more of the ancients' DNA, it may have acquired their characteristics, such as walking upright, having hands with opposable thumbs, a greater brain mass and advanced abilities, but retaining certain aspects of its insectoid origin, such as its way of feeding and voracious hunger. Another theory, considered the most accurate, suggests that there was intervention by the ancients themselves. According to this hypothesis, although the Iritas began to feed on them, at some point in its evolution or adaptation, the ancients captured and studied it. It is possible that they modified it or accelerated its evolution, since during that time they were looking for ways to prolong their lives to ascend or improve biologically. However, this can never be confirmed. At some point, the specters managed to escape and, taking refuge on the edges of the galaxy, multiplied. Fueled by a deep hatred for the ancients, they sought revenge, or rather, to feed off of them. During the early days of the war between the Wraith and the ancients, the former faced great odds. Although they were numerous and their technology was efficient, it was inferior to that of the ancients, who cornered them. Confident, the ancients sent their warships deep into Wraith territory. The Wraith, at the cost of great sacrifices, managed to acquire their technology, especially the ZPMs, which they used for cloning facilities. This turned the tide of the war in favor of the Wraith. With numbers exceeding 100 to 1, the ancients began to lose ground. In desperation, they sought to create ways to gain an advantage, but all their attempts failed. By the end of the war, only Atlantis, the last city, remained. Faced with imminent defeat, the ancients decided to hide the city under the sea, use the Stargate, and return to the Milky Way. The humans left behind were captured, distributed to different worlds like livestock, and periodically harvested to feed the Wraith. Faced with a shortage of food, the Wraith decided to go into hibernation, leaving a guardian to watch over the livestock. 10,000 years passed until the events of the Atlantis expedition, when the Toei obtained the coordinates of the city and, unaware of the dangers, sent an expeditionary party. Upon arrival, they encountered the Wraith during a harvest. The expedition attempted to help the captured humans and, in the process, killed the guardian, causing all the Wraith to awaken. In a galaxy with an insufficient human population to meet their demand, a civil war broke out over harvesting territories. The Atlantis expedition sought various ways to stop the Wraith, but with less than desirable results, even going so far as to ally with them to find a solution. To this day, the current state of the Pegasus galaxy is unknown. However, if internal conflicts cease and one group manages to impose itself on the others, the specters could regain power and seek out the Milky Way, which is full of food sources. As is known, the Wraiths are a hybrid between ancient humans and the Iritas insect. This insect acquired DNA from the ancients, which allowed it to evolve. However, it is also believed that the ancients themselves may have intervened or accelerated this hybridization process. The physiology of the Wraiths is similar, although not identical, to that of humans. They have light blue-green skin and white hair, characteristics that predominate in most of them. In queens, however, these characteristics can be more varied. In addition, they have yellow eyes and sharp teeth, although the latter are not used for feeding. The physical differences between the Wraiths also depend on their hierarchical position. Queens, commanders, and drones or warriors have distinctive characteristics. For example, queens, being in charge of reproduction, can give birth directly, but when they are in a hive ship, these ships facilitate the process by means of incubation pods that accelerate the development of new Wraiths. Internally, Wraiths possess most of the human organs, but their digestive system becomes useless when they reach adulthood. Their way of feeding is reminiscent of the Iritas insect. In their right hand they have a structure similar to a suction cup or mouth, which allows them to absorb the life force of other living beings, specifically humans. This process is carried out from the victim's chest. When a Wraith feeds, it releases a special enzyme into the victim's body to keep it alive and strong while slowly drying it out. This method of feeding is traumatic for humans, and without this enzyme, the victim's body would quickly die. The ability to feed is also used as a method of interrogation. During this process, the specters can partially return the life force to their victim, creating a death and rejuvenation effect. This is used to manipulate the victim until they give in to their demands. However, if the individual demonstrates great resistance, the healing or detoxification process may become more complicated or even fail. Why do they feed in this way? This method, inherited from their ancestor the Irritors, allows the specters to stay strong, healthy and younger. Their longevity depends largely on this process, as it prevents the deterioration typical of other species. In this way, the specters can live indefinitely, as long as they regularly feed on humans. The hierarchy of the Wraith is simple and reminiscent of the structure of an insect hive, organized in a matriarchal manner. The Queen. She is the most powerful and respected figure in Wraith society. Her authority is absolute, and she is in charge of reproduction, being the genetic source of most Wraith. Queens are incredibly strong both physically and psychically, and possess advanced mind control abilities that allow them to manipulate other Wraith and even, on occasion, humans. From their position, they control entire fleets and colonies. Commanders. Immediately below the Queen, commanders are the military leaders of the Wraith. They are responsible for directing fleets, organizing human harvests, and supervising soldiers. Although they have some autonomy in their decisions, their loyalty to the Queen is unwavering. They are usually individuals with great physical strength and advanced tactical skills. Some also developed psychic abilities, though to a much lesser degree than the Queen's. Scientists. On a similar level to commanders, scientists are tasked with research and maintenance of the Wraith's organic technology. They are responsible for technological advancements and improving human farming techniques for food. While not as authoritative as commanders, they are highly respected for their knowledge and ability to ensure the functioning of living ships and other essential technology. Soldiers or drones. These form the basic military force of the Wraith. They are tasked with direct combat duties and capturing humans to feed their society. Their intelligence is limited, but they are designed to obey orders without question. They are extremely strong and resilient, and thanks to their regenerative abilities, are difficult to kill in combat. In critical situations, the Queen or commanders can directly control soldiers to maximize their effectiveness. Workers. This is the lowest rank among the Wraith proper. Workers perform basic maintenance and duties within the hives and ships. They possess no psychic abilities or status in society and are tasked with simple, routine tasks. Although they are less intelligent and powerful, their loyalty to the instinctive hierarchical structure makes them effective at their work. Worshippers. Worshippers are humans who, for various reasons, decide to voluntarily serve the Wraith. They are often used as key tools to facilitate dominance over other human communities such as espionage and sabotage. They gather information and sabotage from within to facilitate harvests. Guards and overseers. They watch over human prisoners and coordinate harvest logistics. They also oversee subjugated human settlements. Priests or guides. In some colonies, they act as religious leaders who promote the worship of the specters, encouraging voluntary submission from humans. Although subordinate within the hierarchy, worshippers enjoy certain benefits and privileges, including protection. Specters, in general, do not feed on worshippers. Power. Within human societies under specter control, worshippers enjoy authority over their human peers, gaining an elite status. Improved living conditions. They receive access to resources, security, and better living conditions than the rest of humans. The gift of life. The most loyal worshippers can receive life energy collected by specters, which rejuvenates them and restores their physical capabilities. This benefit is exclusive to the most faithful. Wraith technology is completely organic and deeply connected to them, meaning that much of their functionality is dependent on their biology and tailored solely for their use. This focus is primarily on their need to harvest humans for food, which is reflected in the design of their weapons, vehicles, and ships. Additionally, their technology has the ability to regenerate, making it even more resilient and durable. Organic armor. Wraith soldiers use living armor that attaches to their body, enhancing their physical endurance without affecting their mobility. These armors can adapt to the environment and offer protection against various types of attacks, including energy attacks, Weapons. Their weapons emit powerful energy blasts designed to paralyze living organisms and cause considerable damage to machinery. In combat, these weapons are particularly effective at neutralizing their targets without killing them, making them easier to capture. Darts. Darts are fast and versatile ships used in both combat and transport. These ships are equipped with a special ray that temporarily disintegrates living beings and stores them inside for later release. This system is used both to deploy troops on the battlefield and to collect humans for food. Cruisers and hive ships. Cruisers. These are medium-sized ships designed for tactical missions, capable of housing troops and darts, and offering military support in confrontations. Hive ships. These gigantic organic ships can reach several kilometers in length. They function as command centers, mobile bases and floating cities, being able to house thousands of wraiths, humans and darts. Their regenerative capacity makes them difficult to destroy, as they can automatically repair damage over time. Energy and weaponry. The energy source used by the wraiths is unknown even to the ancients. Their technology seems self-sufficient and does not require recharging. Wraith ships are equipped with plasma weapons, which are especially effective against energy shields. This gives them a strategic advantage, as they can disable enemy ships before destroying or capturing them. Communication. The Wraith's communication system is linked to their psychic abilities. This allows them to coordinate instantly and efficiently over vast distances, even covering entire galaxies. Ship creation. Unlike conventional ships, Wraith ships are not built, but grown. This process involves injecting a special pathogen into a host, such as a drone or human, causing organic tentacles to sprout that absorb minerals and energy from the environment. These resources are then used to accelerate the ship's growth. Although the process is extremely complex and poorly understood, it is a reflection of the Wraith's unique approach to biotechnology. The Wraith are a dark and evil version of the ancients themselves, being one of their most dangerous creations. They went out of control due to the simple fact that the ancients were looking for a way to lengthen or enhance their lives. Furthermore, the Wraith are the only faction or species that managed to defeat them, a feat that highlights their immense power and danger. Although they are currently fragmented by internal wars, once these cease and a dominant leader emerges, they could once again become a formidable threat, not only to the Pegasus galaxy, but to the Milky Way as well. Personally, the Wraith are my favorite faction, probably because Atlantis was on TV so often, and that made me lean more toward this series than Stargate SG-1. My favorite character has always been Todd. Although I love his complexity, I feel that some of his betrayals in the series seemed forced. I hope that if there is ever a sequel, their story will be picked up and developed in more depth. Thank you so much for joining me this far. In the next video, I'll talk about the Wraith ships and their representation in the Pegasus Chronicles mod. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, share this content and comment your thoughts. See you next time.